What is the point of all the advancements in medical science, technology, and better standards of living if, at the end, we are becoming more and more miserable and weaker as a species? The world has undergone phenomenal positive changes and achievements, advances in medical science, better, faster, and cheaper technologies in most domains, a significant improvement in the standard of living of common people in most developed and developing countries, and greater levels of comforts and conveniences. However, despite all these significant improvements and achievements, as a collective, our subjective well-being has been seriously impacted. Chronic stress, chronic diseases, suicides, and mental health issues are at an all-time high globally. The sad reality is that the younger folks, Gen Zs and Alpha, are the most vulnerable mentally and emotionally. Anxiety and depression are more prevalent among the youth of the developed world, and a wave has already begun hitting the developing countries as well. This is alarming and very concerning as our youth, the future of humanity, is on shaky ground. Many credible scientific sources and leading scientists are predicting the next global pandemic to be that of mental ill health, followed by a suicide pandemic. This is us, humans, causing this peril. The underlying factor is not because of some imminent existential threat to humanity. This is because of our own inability to handle our mind, emotions, and body. Mental ill health is far more effective and cheaper than wars and contagious viruses. We do not need any external harm or inputs. We are enough for our own demise. We are failing to realize that human well-being and flourishing is the only solution to all of humanity's and Mother Earth's problems. Most of us do not have a pleasant inner environment, despite having created so much affluence, comforts, conveniences, and powerful technologies. Our subjective well-being is not reflective of our achievements. On the contrary, it is on the decline. Outer comforts and inner chaos. This is the modern paradox, the dilemma that most people are facing. We still have primitive caveman mindsets and behaviors in a very modern and sophisticated world. We are still purely survival oriented and not looking beyond our nose tips for well-being and flourishing. Well-being simply means pleasantness within us and around us, but most importantly, an inner pleasant environment. Dr. Martin Seligman, the founding father of positive psychology, defines flourishing as the state of optimal human functioning in all aspects of life. Well-being and flourishing have been the focus of all the ancient spiritual traditions. Fortunately, modern science has been looking into well-being, joy, love, kindness, compassion, gratitude, and so on, in a scientific way. Positive psychology is the science of human well-being. We are at a wonderful juncture in time and history where modern science and the ancient spiritual traditions knowledge and practices are blending harmoniously. This is great news for humanity. Academic education unfortunately only caters for economic development and not for the well-being of humanity. For a human to become a human being and to flourish, understanding the design of the human system and learning how to properly operate it is absolutely essential. Our education system has never taught us about the human system. We have learned about science, mathematics, economics, and the arts, but never about how to operate our own mind, body, and breath for our own well-being and flourishing. We are only outwardly focused and have completely ignored our inner environment. With this kind of approach, well-being and flourishing is impossible. We are mindlessly using the most sophisticated instrument, the human system. This is why, despite so much affluence, powerful technologies, advanced medical science, and better standards of living, our individual and collective well-being is so poor. We need a license to drive a car. We need to learn how to operate it, the rules to follow, the do's and the don'ts. Our mind, breath, and body are also a vehicle, a machine, an instrument for us to use to function in the world. However, we don't know how to operate this machine properly. Just like a music instrument, if it is well tuned, produces melodious and pleasant sound, and if not tuned, produces dissonant and unpleasant noise. The same is true with the human mind and body. Unfortunately, we don't understand the design of this instrument of mind, body, and breath, and how to use it for our well-being. Nature, through the process of evolution, has designed it for us to flourish, not to suffer. Sadly, we are cluelessly using this instrument, having no idea of its design and capabilities, and expecting to live well. This is why chronic stress, as well as mental and emotional suffering, is so rampant and poised to get even worse. Every free, non-oppressed, and sane individual wants well-being, to have an inner pleasant environment, and better yet, to flourish. Without understanding the fundamental design of this instrument, well-being and flourishing is almost impossible. This education is missing. Most of us do not have proper mental, emotional, and physical foundation to live a pleasant and stable life. With the smallest blows that life throws at us, we get off balance and move into sadness, anxiety, despair, or even depression. Human well-being and flourishing have never been given any importance by our education system nor our workplaces. It has always been about economic empowerment at the cost of everything else. Because of this, human mental and physical health, as well as that of Mother Earth's health, have deteriorated. We are paying the price of our own actions, period. Academic education for the purpose of survival and economic development, both at the individual and collective levels, have only brought comforts and conveniences, but no well-being. All scientific research unanimously depict this fact. With the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence, academic education will be totally disrupted. This is a good thing because this is the right and critical time to pave the way for human well-being education. We have come to a point where majority of the people in the world have reached a decent level of material comfort and welfare. This is the time to shift from working and living merely for our survival to experiencing true well-being. This shift in perspective, mindset, and behavior must happen for our collective well-being. This is the only way we can curb the growth of mental ill health and move towards well-being. This must enter our schools and workplaces. The good thing is that a positive wave has already begun started in Ivy League universities like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and so on, where they are teaching the science of happiness and well-being, the science of meaningful life and positive psychology, because they have realized that academic education for the purpose of employment and economic development is not contributing to our well-being. America has all the riches and yet it is not the happiest nation. In fact, it is very poor in terms of subjective well-being. This is a strange paradox. All man-made problems originated out of the human mind and body, and all of the solutions also lies within the human mind and body. For a human to become a human being and to flourish, understanding the design of the human system and learning how to properly operate it is absolutely essential. This is the missing education for human well-being and flourishing. I am Tulesh Sharma, the author of the book The Human Education, which is about understanding the design of the human system and learning how to operate it for your well-being, for your inner peace and outer success. If you're interested, please click the link in the description, and thank you so much for watching.